For that update. Also, right now this morning, the search is on for this woman, 25-year-old Stephanie Pars. She vanished 3 weeks ago. Prosecutors named her boyfriend, John Osbilgan, as a person of interest. And they also say Pars once went to the police to report him for alleged abuse. Our New Jersey reporter, Brian Thompson, is in Freehold with what we know this morning. Brian?
Yeah, good morning, Dave. We know that there is a huge citizen volunteer search going on in the woods behind me right now. This is what we saw this morning as people started gathering, getting their instructions as to where to go, what teams to be a part of. This was done online, in person. It is an amazing effort to see this. It's being done with the coordination of local volunteer fire departments and rescue squads, ambulance squads, all joining in to help this family find Stephanie Pars, who has been missing, as you said, now for 21 days, ever since she had some sort of texting argument with her boyfriend. And this is what we heard from Stephanie's father this morning.
This has been a terrible event, and I know we're not the only family around that had things like this happen. We've been seeing more and more pop up every day, and it's just heartbreak. You don't realize how bad it is until you're living it.
Ed Pars telling us that there are 5 searches either underway or will be underway by the end of today in various locations scattered throughout the Freehold area, hoping that they can find some trace of Stephanie. Meanwhile, that boyfriend, John Osbilgan, his house is now under 24-hour around-the-clock surveillance after his release over the objections of the prosecution yesterday. His release and being just told to check in once a week and not be on the internet, as he remains that person of interest in her disappearance. Live in Freehold, Brian Thompson, News 4 New York.
Okay, Brian, thank you. In New Jersey as well, police are looking for the man who opened fire in a Newark barbershop, killing a man and injuring several others. News 4's Tracy Strahan has the latest from the scene.
Authorities confirm a 22-year-old man was shot here and pronounced dead. 2 others were shot as well here at Cut Creators Barbershop, where still at least 6 bullet holes remain. Now, there was clear grief here on Clinton Place after 3 men were shot here just after 8:30 last night. The Essex County Prosecutor's Office confirms that one of the victims died from his injury, and according to law enforcement sources, that man was the son of the barbershop's owner. Oh, exactly what led to this, still unclear, but sources say it was so chaotic here at the scene that a Newark police officer was injured while trying to control the crowd. Now, not only are authorities on the hunt for the alleged gunman in this case, but also a motive. They're also looking for a motive in a shooting that happened just 2 miles away. It was Monday night where 1 person was killed, 4 others were injured during a shooting on South 8th Street. And at this point, no arrests have been listed in that case as well. Now, law enforcement sources, once again familiar with this case, say there have been several incidents of violence here at this barbershop. But again, the search for the gunman continues. That's the very latest from Newark. I'm Tracy Strahan. We'll send it back to you.
We will head to Staten Island, where a Peapod delivery truck crashed into a house in Great Kills. Chopper 4 was over the scene on Hillcrest Street about 7:15 this morning. Investigators believe the driver had some sort of medical episode. He's now being evaluated at the hospital, but witnesses talked about a chaotic scene.
He crawled out the passenger side of the car because the driver's side was on the ground.
No one in the house was hurt. New this morning at 11, we're getting a closer look at the water pipe that burst in Manhattan, which made a mess in the theater district. Crews have been working around the clock since that pipe broke during the evening rush Monday, and it sent steam pouring into the street, as you can see here from the Citizen app video. No one was hurt, and they're still unclear how long the repairs will take. An investigation is underway after 2 U.S. service members were killed in Afghanistan. As we understand it, they died in a helicopter crash today. The Defense Department has not yet released the names of the service members or specified where they were killed. According to preliminary reports, it does not appear that enemy fire played a role. Well, all eyes are on Washington right now as Ambassador Gordon Sondland testifies in the impeachment hearings. One name he kept bringing up, Rudy Giuliani. News 4's Andrew Siff covering it for us. He's been watching all morning. Andrew?
Well, David, this was a dramatic shift in the impeachment proceedings. As Gordon Sondland said, there was a quid pro quo that President Trump, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, and Rudy Giuliani all knew about it. Sondland sworn in about 9:30 a.m. and then delivered a riveting 45-minute opening statement in which he repeatedly said that everyone was in the loop and that hundreds of millions of dollars in U.S. taxpayer aid to Ukraine was held up because the president was waiting for what he wanted, Ukraine's president to announce investigations into the 2016 elections and into Joe Biden and his son.
Was there a quid pro quo? As I testified previously, with regard to the requested White House call and the White House meeting, the answer is yes. Mr. Giuliani conveyed to Secretary Perry, Ambassador Volker, and others that President Trump wanted a public statement from President Zelensky committing to investigations of Burisma and the 2016 election. Mr. Giuliani expressed those requests directly to the Ukrainians, and Mr. Giuliani also expressed those requests directly to us. We all understood that these prerequisites for the White House call and the White House meeting reflected President Trump's desires and requirements.
The hearing in a brief recess, and then will continue as Republicans will seek to undo the damage that Sondland inflicted on the president's case. They have previously said there was no quid pro quo. Now Sondland said there was, so they'll be questioning him about that. The impeachment hearing is set to wrap up tomorrow, but today's developments might change the timeline, the course of what happens next, with a lot of big names now mentioned in the public record. We're in the newsroom. Andrew Siff, News 4 New York, sending it back to you, David.
Okay, Andrew, a morning of drama and then maybe an evening of drama as well. In Decision 2020, that drama may play out on a movie studio stage tonight. MSNBC will host the 5th Democratic presidential candidates debate. The top 10 contenders will be on stage at Tyler Perry's studios in Atlanta. And this time, Mayor Pete Buttigieg could come under political fire because the latest polls show him leading the pack in Iowa and New Hampshire, both early decision states. Questioning done by an all-female panel of moderators. It begins tonight at 9 o'clock, and News 4's Melissa Russo's in Atlanta to cover the debate, so you can look for her report starting this afternoon on News 4 at 4 o'clock. We'll turn now to Dave Price to get a look at our forecast for this Wednesday.
Yeah, got a little bit of everything in the 10-day, so let's get right to it right now and talk about what's going on outside and what we're keeping an eye on as we head through the next several days. All right, Storm Tracker 4's live red sweep, and that gives us an indication of what's going on. Good news is, from a precip standpoint, all's quiet right now, north, south, east, and west. What we're watching for is certainly the milder trend we're going to roll through over the next several days into the end of the work week, and then showers by Friday night. And then another round of storms brings us rain, maybe even a mix of some freezing precipitation as we head into Sunday in some locations. Let's go through the details. Live outside right now from our cameras, and that shows a fair amount of gray sky. We have 43 degrees under cloudy conditions in Central Park and a little bit of a wind north-northwest at about 15 miles per hour. So it feels like we're in the 30s, dew points at 30, so relatively dry air. Around the region, 37 in Monticello on the thermometer, 39 in Newburgh, up to 41 in East Hampton, and close to the mid-40s as we head from Toms River to Long Branch over to Somerville, where it's 44 degrees as well. Same relatively when you head out west to Sussex. We're within a degree or two of that number. All right, wind speeds, again, healthy numbers, 15 in the city, 15 in Islip, 12 in Bridgeport. So everywhere, regardless of what that thermometer reading is, you're going to take 5-6 degrees off that number. That's how it feels as you walk out the door, open the window. Over the next several days, this is progress. We go from 47 today to 52 tomorrow and close to 60 degrees on Friday. But then we take a drop, and into Saturday we're at 45, and Sunday when we see that precipitation roll on through again, it is going to be on the chilly side, raw. So two troublemakers. One, as we head into Friday night, we watch that, and then that cold front begins to pass. It brings a little bit of rain, and then another one is brewing to the south and west, and that's going to tap into that tropical moisture and bring it toward us. And as we head into Sunday, it's that cold rain and the wintry mix to the north and west. So let's put it together. In the meantime, we take a look at what's happening with our area, and we keep an eye on Tropical Storm Sebastian. Nothing to worry about right now, but again, remarkable. We're already on the S's right now and getting to the end of the tropical hurricane season, the Atlantic hurricane season. So again, we'll talk more about that later. For the rest of us, the weekend's not perfect, and then we're keeping a careful eye on Getaway Day for Thanksgiving next week, and of course the parade. We'll talk more at 4 o'clock.
Okay, Dave, thank you. And we're, of course, keeping a close eye on the impeachment hearings unfolding right now on Capitol Hill. We'll have the latest on the hearing, already been dramatic, and we'll have that at 4 o'clock. Also at 4 o'clock, when a New Jersey woman's Amazon account was hacked and she lost thousands in Kindle books purchases, she said better get Vaquero. So thanks for joining us on this abbreviated online edition of News 4 at 11. You can always get breaking news and weather updates right here at NBCNewYork.com, or you can download our NBC4 New York app. Have a great day.